up as a little girl, I learned to cook from my grandmother. I watched my mom cook as well, but a lot of my time I spent at my grandma's. So, like she would get me to school of a morning, and I would get off the bus at her house in the afternoons. And just growing up, she would start cooking at 3, 4 o'clock to have dinner ready by 5. And doing so, I would cook her scraps. So, like if she was cooking collards or greens or anything out the garden, whenever she cut out the good part and left the stems to throw away, or she picked over the leaves, what was left, I would cook in the windowsill of her little kitchen. It was in a single wide trailer, and it had kind of like the octagon, or the half octagon, hexagon type of design at the front of the trailer in the kitchen area, and in the middle of it was a window unit, and underneath it was a windowsill that she had reinforced with real wood. And I would take my little pots and pans, and I would cook in the windowsill with my scraps and pretend that I was cooking like my grandma. And while I was doing that, I was also being a hostess and a waitress to my grandpa and my uncle that would eat with her every night. And I would make tips as a little girl doing that. But I was just always in awe because my grandma and my grandpa, they grew a lot of their food. They used to raise their meat, but over time that went away. But my grandma went to the grocery store every week on Wednesday. But the vegetables and whatever she could grow in the garden, she did so. So really the only thing she bought was pantry staples and meat at the grocery store. So she would always group her meals around what she had in the garden before she went to the grocery store. And that would determine whether she bought neck bones and rice, if that would determine if she bought chicken or hamburger meat or whatever the case may be, pork. It was just always sitting around that. But I was always in such an awe that she could come up with something that was so good, so homemade, with very little ingredients. And tonight, throwing our supper together, that's kind of what it reminded me of, because I have some celery, some carrots. I'm going to do onion powder just because my kids, they don't really like onions, and I could chop them up very small, but time consuming, and I'm on a time crunch. It's already 6